welcome to the Astro Imaging Journey channel. Please enjoy the episode.
Hello and welcome back to my Astro Imaging Journey channel. And in this part, we're going to continue on with our background extraction, and this time we're going to use DBE, and we're going to compare the two, see which one gave us the better results. So we're going to open up Dynamic Background Extraction Process, and we're going to come up here, and you can see in my data a lot of these points. Now these points are already in there, simply because based on what Warren Keller and Ron Belcher and others have said, we really don't need to put a ton of points throughout the whole image. We just mainly want to focus on these outside areas where we know there's supposed to be background, and our points are red. So how do we fix that? Well, as you can see here, tolerance is way higher than what we had as far as defaults, and that's perfectly fine. Also, our radius and samples per row and weight, I believe those would change from defaults. Model image is going to be the same, or default, and then normally I would replace, but I'm going to not replace it in this particular case. And I am going to discard the background model. But how do I turn these red samples to green? First thing we're going to want to do is let's increase our tolerance. And what does a 6 give us? Do not hit enter, just click anywhere else. And that did not help. So if we go down to a 1.5, that did not help either. So I'm going to select this one. Let's go back to a 3, 3.0, and let's do a little, let's go to 5 on our shadows. What about an 8? Let's go back to a 6. And let's do 9. 1. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. Let's do a 0.5. And if we resize, nope. If I go to a 0.25, back to a 3. Let's drop this down to a 1. .5. What's that saying? 1 to 100, okay. Now if we do a tolerance of 6, I need a 1, 5, 6, 6. Okay, so I've reset everything to the absolute maximum we can do. So let's see, shadows, relaxation 100, and 1 be the two extremes, and as you can see, none of these are turning green. So with this particular data set, I'm not going to be able to use the dynamic background extraction right out of the gate. However, what we can do is we can use ABE and DBE in conjunction with each other to get a result. So what we're going to do here is now I'm going to close out of DBE. And then I'm going to come over here to workspace 3 and I'm going to move that back to workspace 1. And I'm going to expand that out. So in the previous part, we used ABE to get us a good starting point. And now we can open up DBE. And now our points, none of them look red. So now it's finding a point where we're not going to be rejecting too much, but we want to still reject a fair amount because we have these gradients out here. So we've got this one here, and in this particular case, I am not going to discard the background model either because I want to see what it is. We've got this sample up here. The tolerance is 3, so if I drop this down to a 2, and resize, drop it down to a 1, resize, and now we've got these extreme corners are turning red. If you can see that one right there, it's red. That one's red over here, and it's real faint, probably doesn't show up, but that one actually is red even though it's highlighted. So I was at a 2, now I'm at a 1, so if I go 1.5 and do a little half splitting, I resize, that one turned red or gray, that one turned gray, that one I think is still red. Yep. So it looks like 2 is going to be where I'm going to want to be at. I could go to 1.75, but 2 is going to be good, I think. Yep, that one just turned, so we're good there. So now I'm just going to start at my first one, and now we have to find, so here, you can get your X and Y coordinates, and to find out where your marker is, and this one is down here. As you can see, it's over a couple stars, so we're just going to want to move that one out of the way just a little bit and out of that corner, and we can either go and look at each one in turn and just kind of move it around. I want to put one about right there. That one should be okay. So now we just look at all of them, paying attention to where they're at and what is it covering. just accidentally placed an extra one, but that's okay. We'll just move that up here. Let's look okay here. Got this one here. Want to pop another one right there. Want one right there. And I think this can be just a touch tedious, but the better job you do getting these points set, better the end image is going to be. So we take our time. Oh, just did that one. Just pop that there. Move that one. We got one more right there. And that should be all of them. So at this point, like I said, we're doing subtraction. I'm not going to replace it because I want to compare it to what we have here. But I also want to look at the background model because I want to see that we've got that gradient in there. So we'll just hit the little check mark and we'll wait for this to complete. Alright, so that has completed. There's our image and here's our background. So let's stretch that background. And we did get that gradient that we were expecting. So that's good. Now let's take a look. I'm going to close DBE. I'll move this over here and I'm going to stretch it. Now we have a flatter field. Still got a little bit of gradient over here. It's not as prominent as it was. So that's good. Brought out some noise in here that we'll have to deal with. But I think that's going to be a good starting point. Yeah, we've definitely got some noise in there, so if we doesn't look quite as bad. Oh wow, I actually got that pretty close. It's probably hard to see in the video, but if I zoom in one more here, one more there, you can see the noise looks about the same. It's just more greenish over here and more reddish over here, a little bit flatter. But that will work for us. So I'm going to, so if we got this one here, let me look at my History Explorer. It's the initial state, that's fine. So I'm going to close the ABE one. Got our original. Yes. Move this over here, and I'm just going to rename this to RGB. So now that we are done with the background extraction, we've got a flatter field now, we're good. A more even background, I should say. I think I'm going to say that's good for this one, so we're done with dynamic background extraction. Well, thank everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, clear skies. Have a good one. See you in the next part.
Thank you for watching yet another video from the Astrometry Junior channel. Really appreciate your viewership. In our upper right, we have the latest video we've uploaded. In our lower right, we have what YouTube might think you would enjoy. And in the lower left is our subscription button. Please like this video, subscribe if you so choose. As always, clear skies, have a good one, and remember Duke.